And welcome back to AR's Tales, aka the ART podcast. I am AR Mirabal. I messed up my own name today, folks. And I am joined today by Victoria Maurice, Wattpad author of a couple different stories that we're going to get into. Victoria, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How about
Now,
you?
oh, phenomenal, outstanding, and improving. Now, where can people find you? For the people listening that aren't watching, aren't tuning in on YouTube, where can people find you? Links, Instagram, Wattpad, everything.
You can find me on Wattpad if you look up the username Christy M01. It's CHRISTY M01. And the same is for my Instagram.
Thank you for spelling it out. So many people just kind of, I don't know. I guess it's kind of the thing of the authors
Yeah.
do, where like you almost don't want to promote yourself too much, so they just kind of go like, "Oh yeah, it's just at blah 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 blah," and it's like, "All right, spell it out, say a little slower, so people can actually translate into something."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now, I usually always start off with the basic question of what got you into writing. At what age did it start? Was it a thing that you knew from the get go? Run me through that.
Well, it's a pretty funny story because I wasn't really into reading at all, but my friends introduced me to Wattpad, and after probably a year of reading, I just started from time to time writing short stories, and I never really finished them. And then at one point, one day, me and my friend were bored, and she told me, let's try to write the most cliche, predictable story ever. And I was like, okay, cool. So we started. It was a free period. We started. And the next day, she only had probably one paragraph. And then I had like three chapters. And she told me, oh, wow, you're going to post that, right? And I was like, I don't think so. I'm really shy by nature. So I was like, no, not really. And she was like, hey, nobody will know. Just go on Wattpad and post it. I was like, okay, cool. And I did. And a couple months later, I got inspired for another story. And little by little, I started taking it more and more seriously.
Now, for the people unaware, or the people that are unaware yet, but hopefully you will become a fan, what genre do you kind of consider yourself right now? And do you ever plan on changing genres?
Well, I'm not really focused on any genre really. I went from romance and thriller and action, mystery, and even um, paranormal. Even so, it's like wherever the idea takes me, I'll go. And if I have to do research, I'll do the research. But I'm not really fixed on anything.
Very cool. Now, do you think there is a through line of all your writing? Now, for example, I also like to do all those type of genre shifts, but I always kind of like I'm a huge nerd, so my through line is always sci-fi. No matter how hard I'll try
Okay.
to make something like out there, at the end of the day, it'll always end like, oh, and then
Mm-hmm.
some crazy technology came out of nowhere and XYZ. Always, no matter how hard I try.
Yeah.
So, do you think you have like a
Mm-hmm.
through line? Do you think you always have like maybe like a romance through line, or do you always stick with a thriller
Yes.
type of thing? So, always with the
Yeah.
romance.
Romance, definitely. Yeah.
So, how do you think you build? Well, how do you build a romance? How do you build it from do you build it from a idyllic relationship, or do you build it from a person, or maybe two individuals that kind of come together as a union? I don't know if I'm really explaining myself right.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I honestly think that I try to look more at a situation instead of the individuals. It's like here's the plot, these are the people, and then throw them in there and let's see what happens. So
Hell yeah,
it
okay.
yeah, so it's like I don't really like the story being focused on just the romance. I want what's going on around it, so that way like the drama can come from something other than the bickering and the fighting. So there's more material to work with.
Dope, hella dope. So
Yeah.
what do you think kind of kicked that off? Do you think, was it like, for example, short story? What was your first short story? Can you remember it?
was very short. I think it was for a project. I think it was for a project at school. And I think it was about the hero's quest or something like that. And they just
Okay.
told us
Freshman
to,
year English.
they, yeah. So they just threw us in there and they told us, yeah, write a story with a hero, a quest, whatever, and obstacles. And I wrote a story about a guy that lived in a village and they were running out of water and food because there was a major drought in the area and now they didn't have any food anymore. But there's like a big old chain of mountains that separates them from the other side, and none of them ever really went on the other side because like there are creatures in there, they don't know what's in there, so none of them have the courage to go through it. And he finds it amazing, like the land was fertile and everything, so he just went and
Wow.
a few of the men of the village to go with him and then live.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we got a little like cut out there, but that is awesome. I think my first short story was actually kind of a similar thing. Back in like 7th grade, I wrote, and I would love to see it because I got a C as a grade, but my teacher told me it should have been an F the way that I wrote it, and she only gave me a C because it was so creative. And what it was is that like um all the like sponsor characters from like food, like Tony the Tiger and the cheetah from Cheetos and like the peanut, all of them got together, and for whatever
Yeah.
reason they just started getting like killed off. I'm like seventh grade.
Wow.
Uh
That's
and
very creative.
and like it was for whatever reason I like the Cheeto guys the most, so he was the one that was like uncovering the mystery. And
Uh-huh.
I remember, like, I think it was that we had like a 3-page limit, and I think by the time I got to the second some page, I was like deep in the plot, and then I just ended it, and then like, oh, whatever the hell. Uh, Man, it's so funny to think back on like that type of thing. 'Cause it's obviously horrible, but as you kind of
Mm-hmm.
grow, you kind of like get to pick up the pieces of it, and kind of like, all right, right. Obviously, very juvenile attempt, but there are certain structures here, certain bones here that we can use like, even now. Do you think that you
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that you have any of that in your short stories? Like what even the very first ones that like you would not even think about today. Do you think you ever would revisit them and kind of revamp them in the future?
Um, I wish, but unfortunately, a lot of my short story were probably like written in my school notebooks, and I have no idea where they are now.
Hmm.
But I know that there's definitely one of them that I was supposed to just cut short, but I int- I integrated the concept of it into my very first story that is on Wattpad. So that little the I just switched a few things, but the concept was still the same. It's just a little bit deeper down in the story that you will realize that, oh, that's what that was. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that. I love that
Thank
like
you.
it just how that's how this whole craft just kind of goes. Like even ideas that kind of like get put in a gutter can eventually kind of be shaken off and be put in the story in some type of method, some type of way.
Yeah, it's
So kind
really
of
interesting.
yeah, I know. I honestly geek out just thinking about like the lengths this can go. You know what I mean? It's like people that really like are really into like sports and like really like study it to like high degrees. It's like the ways that people can just manipulate text. You know what I mean? It's unreal. And
Mm-hmm.
we haven't found a cap yet. Know what I mean? There hasn't been a. Every year somebody comes up with something different.
Yeah.
And from everything you're hearing me, you're definitely on the list of one of those people that are kind of like, hey, okay, need to pay attention to that. So walk me through your first Wattpad story. How did that idea develop? How did that actually come into fruition?
My first Wattpad story, well, it was pretty difficult, honestly, because I did not have a straight up plan. I kind of just dove right in, hoping for the best, I guess, and I wasn't taking it that that seriously. But I think it did pretty good. For my expectations, it was definitely above that. But what ended up happening is I started writing another story while I was writing the first one. So it's like I would have one day for one chapter and another day for the other chapter. So I would just switch it up all the time. And by the time I was done with the first story, it was more like a relief, because this one was kind of like the tryout, and it wasn't really. It was just me testing the waters. So there are a lot of aspects of it that I'm like, I would not write that today, but around that time I was like, whatever floats, whatever goes. So honestly, I really consider my first story to actually do good, actually be my second story, because it really felt like it came from to shape the characters, the story, everything.
Hello? I think we froze out again. Hello, hello. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Just facing some technical difficulties here. Man, if only I had an Australian accent, that would be awesome. Oh, you heard
Yeah.
all that, huh? I'll just keep it busy for the people listening.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you were talking about the characters before we cut off. Oh my God, are we cutting off again? G the Christ. Damn it! And we were doing so well.
I was talking.
Quasi. What was that? You
Oh,
just cut back in.
yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and you hear me the
Let's hope
entire
it.
time. Phenomenal. So, yeah, you were talking about characters. From based off my question,
Yeah.
you were about like midway through your response before you cut off.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I think I think I was talking about shaping my characters however I wanted to,
Yep.
instead of simply trying to please the audience, which is what I was trying to do when I was just writing for fun. And once I took it more seriously, it was really my input
So walk me through.
you know.
No, yeah, definitely. So walk me through the actual names of the books. Like which ones are you referring to? So in my head, there's kind of book A, well, story A and story B. So story A was the one that you were just kind of messing around with, and the story B is when you started going on a different route when your character development and your writing and whatnot. And that's kind of what allured you. And if I can be honest, I had the same type of thing right now, where I have allegory of the end, which is already done. I had already written it, but just I felt the actual getting it to publication was delayed so much by just the idea of the second book, because I realized how many failures I made the first time going, and how many ideas I was so adamant about pursuing that were just novice mistakes. Like I was adamant on making the entire book and the entire that entire series, that entire part of it, uh first person point of view. And there was a whole bunch of philosophical reasons that I thought that would be awesome. But I realized how much I had to cut out, scene wise and world building wise, just because it wouldn't be in that character's point of view. If I put a story of your point of view today, are you going to go into the lengths of how an iPhone works or how your TV works? Of course not, because you would just say, this is how that works, that's how that works, and you just live through your life. So that left a lot of holes in my book that I had to like fill in like other crazy ways.
Yeah.
Whereas when I started working on a narrative, it like blew my mind because not only do you have this person that can fill in all those holes natively, but you can also like twist how that person is narrating the story. Like how the way I did it was that it was narrating a character that was kind of dim-witted. So like the narrator was basically making fun of the character for every decision that he was making. And just writing that felt so much more organic than a lot of stuff that I did with, well, I don't know. Allegory of the End definitely holds a nice little place in my heart, but I definitely feel you with that whole thing of going back and forth. So people also are in tune with what you're talking about. What were story A name? Well, what were the names for story A and
Yeah.
story B? And what were the story and what were their general plot lines without getting too much of the spoilers? Ah, my jeepity Jew, Jean Bao. We have been cut out one more time. I do believe Miss Victoria Maurice has internet connectivity issues. So she definitely should talk to her physician about that, right? Get some type of pills or something to give to her PC, put in the CD slot, an Advil or something. Or maybe like crush it up and like just like blow into the speaker. Maybe that could work. Hmm. Honestly, I have no idea if I'm gonna drop this. Oh, but hey, we're back. I didn't even have to add her. She just came back by herself like a ninja. Hey, can you hear me?
Hi. You can
Hi.
hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Do you have what is it? Is it like Wi-Fi issues on your end, or is it my end? Am I cutting out?
I'm not. I'm not sure. The Wi-Fi's still on here, so I'm not sure. Could be me though, but I'm not sure.
Well, am I cutting out to you?
Um, no, not right now. But you were cutting out earlier. I don't know.
Crap. What was the mystery of the connectivity issues? I was just saying, I don't know if you heard it, that if you have like Advil or something, you can put in the CD slot. I don't know. Maybe they'll they'll fix the computer issues. I'm thinking about doing the same.
Yeah, I can hear you right now, definitely. So
Good. So how? So the names, book story A and story B for the people still listening on.
yeah, after all this, for story A, um, the name was the Luna of his night, and it was pretty teen romance with um elements of supernatural. So there was werewolves and that's that, werewolves and an alpha finding his mate, who is the main character. So they're the the center point of the story, and yeah, I guess that's all I can say without spoiling it. That's the main plot.
No,
And
that's. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue. Continue.
for the story, uh, they oh, good lord. This is bad. Did you hear anything of what I said about the previous story, or did all
No.
that cut out?
Well, no. I no. I mean, I heard you about the crap.
You
What
did.
was it? The dream of the night, right? Is that what it was called? The doom of a
The
night.
Luna of his night. Yeah. Okay.
The
You
Lu.
yeah. You definitely heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the question I was gonna,
The Luna.
the
Luna.
Luna
Yeah.
of his night. Okay, okay. Because the question I was gonna ask is, it's interesting that for your first kind of go at writing, you wrote from a male point of view. How was that?
Was it a male point?
Well,
No, it
maybe I'm
wasn't from. It
assuming.
was from, but
Oh,
it kept on going back and forth.
oh my God! Wait, was your story from a woman alpha? Oh, that's legit. Oh, it was a woman alpha.
No, no, it
Oh,
was the guy was the alpha, but the girl was his mate. Yeah, but
oh,
she was human. That was the big problem.
okay, yeah, because humans probably have a problem with a werewolf after a while, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess like the allure for all those teen dramas are kind of the same
Yeah.
allure for like, I guess it's just like an analogy for like those type of guys that it's like it's fun for a while, but then you start like get growing up and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I need something actual in my life. I guess
Yeah.
I guess I kind of like
Basically.
for that type of thing. So you
Mm-hmm.
yourself kind of consider that like a teen drama. What would you consider an adult drama? What do you think is the adult version of that story?
Adult version of that story. Wow.
And I don't necessarily mean that it's like X-rated and
Mm.
there's titties popping out and things like that. It could mean that. I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying is like what
Yeah,
would
I
you
definitely
consider the
understand.
mature relationship version of that? If that is the teen drama, what is the I don't know mid 40s drama?
Honestly, I those are the small areas where I think I was trying to make it my own. Meaning, like you see, like normally, like teen dramas are just full of issues and they don't communicate and all that. There were some moments when they would have their conflicts, but I tried to just make them be a little bit more mature about it than you would see in like normal teen dramas.
Mm,
So it's like the most of the problems are coming from outside of their couple. It wasn't really them that was the problem. It was something else bigger than them going on. So I didn't really need to
been
focus
there.
on them bickering and fighting all the time. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, kind of going off of because you definitely did cut out for that second story. So what was the so you have so basically
Mm-hmm.
the Luna of his night is Bay, right? Who was the side piece? What was the side piece book? Well, which one? What was the name of the book that you were cheating on Luna of his night with?
Um, that would be down to business. That upgraded from side
Ironic
chick
name,
to
huh?
main chick on. Yeah, definite upgrade. Yeah.
Okay, so run me through that, and
Yeah.
again, without getting too much into spoilers, so people definitely make sure to read it.
Yeah. Okay. So, down to business is basically about this young woman who she's a fashion designer and she is just about to launch her first. Well, she has done a few pieces here and there, but this is her first collection,
Oh,
and she is pretty new to it. So she goes to this guy for help who owns a modeling agency, so he knows exactly the runway process and everything. He has people who know people, so she goes to him for help, and that's how they met. And the story progresses. It's basically showing their relationship
oh, it's 50 Shades of Grey.
slowly bloom. Well,
Okay.
I yeah. I
uh,
wouldn't
oh,
I wouldn't say that much, but oh, they passed the generator. I wouldn't really say that much, but it has that kind of aspect to it. But I guess I tried to put my twist because there are a lot of things that I don't like about that story that somehow I just wanted to include for people like me that want it's basically like a steamy romance with actual romance, and for it not to have like a hint of toxicity in it, you know what I mean? So
hint.
I just tried to
That story was.
So so I try to focus on because it's something that is getting along those kind of things because I guess it makes it more grandiose when they make up. But I tried to find a formula that could combine, you know, a good relationship that you would want in real life and amazing sex all the time that won't make you feel guilty because next thing you know, they're fighting again. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Hmm. I can't say I've ever felt guilty about great sex, even if the partner was really a not great person. There's something about it that's kind of blinding, you know. But don't know how we got into that random tangent. uh, man, I have to say I really like that logic of relationships. Honestly, the I have two relationships in my story that are kind of like back and forth. Whereas like you have one couple that quite literally through every dimension, every phase, they are 100% together always. Like it, like the story could change. Maybe she's a random superintendent and he's a random gym coach in like another dimension, and they have like three kids. Or maybe there'll be another one that she's like a bartender and he's like a guy that always wanted to ask her out but never did, and then eventually he does. Literally does not matter. Even if they meet when they're 4 and they're together all their life, or they meet when they're 40 and then they die the day after, they're always meant for one another. And then you have this other couple who they're basically what I call like fated to fuck up forever. Like it's kind of like what you were talking about of that it's like other just environmental things always come in between the relationship and kind of like never allows it to flourish. That in literally in every dimension and every reality, everything, it's always a crapshoot. Always a crapshoot. Maybe they'll be happy, maybe they'll do thing, but and only in one reality does it ever produce kind of like even like a nice type of like relationship. Uh and I don't know, I like playing with like those different type of concepts of like just relationship and things like that. Like one of my favorite my version of like mature thing. Have you ever watched the movie The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn?
No, I don't think so.
The story is kind of like your typical rom com, but then it ends and like like after they have like their whole like big breakup, uh, like in like the middle of the movie or whatever, they actually never get back together. They realize that like they loved each other and like their love was like genuine and shit, but like they just hit a point, and then like it's just better for them to
let it go.
and then like the end of the movie, the
Move
last
on.
scene is literally them just like meeting, like bumping into each other in the street, like however many years later, and you can like see it in their eyes that they still have like care for one another, but there's no resentment, and they just shake hands and walk away. And I don't know why, but that really is one of my favorite romance movies, even though it doesn't end with the rainbow and everything, because I think that's like the highest level of romance you can get. It's just genuine respect for another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, honestly. Because I guess that's what love should be all about. You know, like there's sometimes if you're not making that person happy and you really want to see them happy and you're the remove yourself or just call it quits if both of you are just not getting anything from it anymore except being miserable. So yeah, I get that.
So you have your first two books out, and you kind of have like you have your Bay, then you have the new one that comes along and you cheat on him with, right? So you're having these two things with the first two books. Then those are out, and again, running through that. So we're talking about Wattpad here, so it's not. I'm assuming you didn't just write everything like you would with a novel and then release it. You're releasing this chapter by chapter. So you're telling me that you're doing one chapter of some werewolf Wolverine sex, and then you're doing one chapter of 40 Shades of Red uh, on kind of next week, right? So you're kind of going in between those type of chapters until you have the until you're done with both stories, right? Oh, did we cut out again? I'm gonna have a
Mm-hmm.
soundtrack. Oh, okay. No, yeah, we're good again. I think. Or did we cut out again?
No, I can hear you right
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. So, what is
now. Okay.
the book the story that follows that?
I know that. Yeah. After that, it's Hazel. Is it Hazel? I think it's Hazel. Is it? Yeah,
Are you
I
asking me?
believe it's. I around that time.
It is Hazel. Yeah. Oh, show more. Oh.
But
Oh.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then I. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. After that, it's Hazel. Yeah.
So there's no, I was just actually looking up your what is it called? Is it called a bibliography or is it like an audiography? What is that called again? Bibliography, right? Like your works, it's called your bibliography. Or no, is bibliography the thing that you put the end of a word?
I believe so. I
Whatever. I was looking at your past
wait.
works.
All right.
And there's
Gotta figure it out.
yeah, there's Hazel and there's well, I was kind of going back and forth because they're actually numbered. Well, the way that it's shown on Wattpad, it's numbered differently than you said it. So Up All Night
No,
is
I
actually before Down to Business.
yeah. I think on Wattpad it's more most recent upload, so you might see like another story at the far front, but it's something else that was there for longer.
Okay. So then run me through Hazel. So was
Yeah.
Hazel another thing that you were kind of going back and forth with stories, or was Hazel just a genuine concept that you came up with and you ran through with it?
Yeah, it was. All my stories are like that. I have the full idea in my head. I just don't. I don't know. I can put it out, and I want to 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 just see it go and stuff. And I don't know. I guess I'm able to juggle them all at the same time. I just arrange day for all, but it's a bit different because it was dark than what I'm really used to. It was a bit deep and slow paced and mysterious and creative. So I there was a point I had to take a long break from it because of the matter. But the inspiration is back. I know.
Yo. We are
I don't
finishing.
see you yet on the screen, but I can hear you.
You can't see me. Well, we're tipsy
Not
tipsy
yet,
over
no.
here because
But
I can hear you, but I
I can
can't see you
definitely hear
either.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and we're back. Do you see me? Well, not that really matters, honestly.
Yeah, I do. I do.
But so Hazel, you were explaining how you can jump in between stories back and forth. So Hazel, you worked at the same time as Up All Night.
I was already done. I think I was already done with the Luna of His Night by the time Hazel started, but I was still going on with Down to Business.
Down to business. So so kind of like a Gantt tree. You kind of have the Luna of His Night and Down to Business. Kind of they coincide, tail end to front end, and then Down to Business and Hazel kind of coincide. So then, what was Hazel eventually? Like what was the work that you right after Hazel that you started working on in tandem to that?
Light Up My World.
Light Up My World. Okay. So again, without getting too much into spoilers, what is the basic concept of Hazel and Light Up My World?
Okay,
Is
so
Hazel about a barista?
Hazel is the story of this girl who was no, but it's about a girl who went on a little vacation with her best friend to Mexico, and she was captive and in the sex trade. And after those 4 years, she managed to escape, and the few girls that were left with her escaped as well. And then she goes back to Mexico to help a detective who's trying to put an end to all this.
Gangsta. Wait, one detective is trying to bring down the entire sex ring? Or just that little area?
Well, he has some help. No, he has some.
What is it? Superman? He would have to go against like every politician in the world.
He's trying to like liberation as possible. No. Yeah. Well, it's more like, they're kind of like vigilantes basically. It's like he knows that he has he has dug up some dirt and found a few things, and it just nothing ever had like or just small links that would a certain a household name to the that gang that's terrifying people, but it's always strong and whatever. So he's taking that in his own hands and trying to find enough proof that like he put things to a halt, or at least slow them down a little bit.
I really like that plot.
Mm-hmm.
How did the whole love get into it? Is it like does a romance develop between the detective and and Hazelnut? Damn it.
No.
Again.
No, I think a lot of since he's the one that brought he's married, so it's one of those things that gets. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, you keep on cutting out. Damn it. All to
Oh, my bad.
hell.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not your fault. I mean, like you're not like sitting there with the Wi-Fi thing going up and down just to mess with us. Hopefully, anyway. um,
Hopefully.
although if you did, that'd be pretty funny. But
Yeah.
so light up my world. What is that one about? I'm really liking how different they are and how like they really. I've been trying to find a through line to see like if there's like something that you're kind of like being inspired by from another, and it really isn't. It just seems like a genuine kind of growth and interest in the craft, which is really interesting. Really, really interesting. Really have not found a lot of writers like that. Which is a shame. I would love if we had a clean audio recording. You, oh, there's your Wi-Fi. Damn it all. I wonder if there's too much yellow in my room. I wonder if I record in all black. Oh, you know what I should do? Get a green screen. That way I can have an actual black hole over here. I'll just be floating. Be getting sucked into the black hole. This is a quote unquote podcast about writing. Yeah, I'm over here acting like a damn fool. What type of role model am I setting for the children? Ah! It's all about the children. The children, they are the future. Dude, I'm so bad at accents. What even was that? And can you go to accent school? Honestly, I want to learn French. Start learning the roots of words. You know how many words I've had to make up for like fictional characters and like places and things? Oh, we're back.
What?
No, I was just doing
Yeah.
I was just doing my little due diligence over here. Okay, so we're back.
Uh-huh.
Up all night. Before that was
Yeah.
where we were at before
Let's
you cut
focus.
off. Yeah, no, it's gonna be that name of this podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the plot? Did we cut out again? Oh my god. Ay, Dios mío.
No, I can hear you.
You can hear me, and I can hear you.
I can hear you. You don't hear me? Yeah.
No, I do not hear
Yeah.
you. But I hear you now.
Oh.
And I see you. So up all night.
Okay. Great. Great. You keep messing with the time. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wait, what? Am I cutting out again?
You keep getting the title wrong, but at this one, I think it's no.
I
you
keep on getting the title
wrong, but at
wrong.
this point, it's just an inside joke.
You know what? I'm not gonna get it wrong a third time, or a fifth time, or whatever. Light up my world. What the hell? What did I say? Did I say up all night? Oh, okay. I did say up all night because I made that joke about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, light up my world. Okay.
No, this is just a joke at this point. So.
That's gonna be the name of this podcast episode. Light up my world. Why? Can't think of anything witty. So, what is the summary of Light Up My World?
It's a girl who moves to Hawaii with her mother after getting kicked out by her father from their house. You know, he's a jerk. And she moves to Hawaii, and now she's adapting to this new place. And she 18. Yeah, she was 18. High school. She moved from London. I remember that. Yeah, she moved from London. And she moved to Hawaii because she moved to Hawaii because her mom has a lot of family there, and the dad is very toxic back in London, and that's his place of birth, so they don't have any more reason to be there. So they moved to Hawaii. Not too long before the story takes place, he lost his dad, and he's dealing with a few issues, but by her, moving across the street from him, she kind of just captivates him, and they start dating, and yeah, it just helps him through his trauma.
Yeah. Huh. Man, again, I'm really taken back by the level of change in plot and characters between each story and how they just progress in completely unexpected ways. I'm telling you. And then Up All Night is followed by.
Thank you.
You know, I can look it up. I can look it up too. Boop-a-da-boo.
Check.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
I also like the covers. We're gonna get into those in a minute, but Checkmate, what is that about?
Thank you. I made them myself.
And you make
Check
them yourself, gangsta.
Checkmate. Thank you. Checkmate is about this single mother who's a defense attorney. Is she a yeah. Her name is Kimberly, and she. It's been 6 years since she last saw her ex-boyfriend, who's also the father of her son. And one day he just pops back into her life, and he needs her help because his boss is being accused of rape, but he claims to not have done anything. He claims it was all consensual. And knowing her, he knows that she will get to the bottom of this. You know, she's very resilient, and she just wants to get justice for whoever needs it. So in that situation, she was the best to go to. But she also, that's a pretty a feature that from day one everybody knows. She can read people, meaning like facial expressions, so she can figure out like, you have something to hide. Yeah, I can tell that because you moved your head like this, or your fingers are going like that. So she can tell
Mm-hmm.
when people are bullshitting her. So she's definitely the one for the job. And little by little, they're trying to bring the family back together. But she's very resilient when it comes to that. She doesn't want that to happen.
Do you think you have that ability? Do you think you can read people's emotions and facial expressions to the point that you can kind of predict where they're going? Man, I'm telling you, I need a sound clip or a soundboard or something so I can just start making some.
Wish I watch a lot of crime shows, so there's like a villain. Since I watch a lot of crime shows, so very often I'm sitting there with my brothers, and I'm like, you know, I can tell he's hiding something, or like the neighbor that looks too nice. I'm like, yeah, she's definitely in on something, you know. So maybe I'm just suspicious of people altogether, but I don't think I have that ability. I wish though. That would be really interesting.
I like that idea. That it's actually why like certain movies and TV shows are really good. Like for example, Mr. Robot. I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever heard of that. That like
I've heard of it.
it plays on the idea of paranoia really heavily, where
Uh-huh.
when you're in the character and in the point of view of the character that's paranoid, everything that they're doing and even their logic is fully sound. So like you live the entire plot thinking that like the entire world really is against that character. And then all you need is that one
Mm-hmm.
point of view to be like, nah, dude, you're tripping out. And then they'll, do like the recap of like them living that moment and they thought they were being followed. And in reality, it was just a guy like, lost in New York. And like, just like little things like
Mm-hmm.
that, like genuine coincidences that to a paranoid person wouldn't
Yeah.
exist.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah, I don't know. I love that concept. And it seems that the reason all those concepts really interest me is because at the heart, even though like I'm a huge sci-fi nerd or all these different things, I always like to tropes that I always like to do. Because if it's not sci-fi, it's 100% going to be about a rebellion, without a doubt. For no doubt, it's always going to be the little guys sticking it to the big guys, no matter what.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
the no matter my the no matter how that much that will stay constant, the thing that shifts for me is the characters and the way that you said is that you make like a whole plot, you make a stew and then you throw in the carrots and you just, like let them boil over and see how they change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the big thing of that is the elements of a character, how they develop it in the environment, and also how the shifts and the paces that you want them to go through. So kind of considering that, do you think you have a favorite character or a favorite pair that you've created so far? Or maybe you have one in mind that
Yeah.
you haven't dropped yet? Because I can tell you I have a couple of those.
I did not hear the beginning of the question, so can you repeat that?
Uh for what was the beginning of that question? It was your favorite character. Like the favorite character you ever created or pair that you've ever created or are going to create.
Hmm. Huh. Honestly, my favorite pair is Ivan and Gabriella from Down to Business.
Mm. Now that was honestly. What about dishonestly?
Yeah, definitely, because they fight for their couple and they're there for, you know, when so I really like that. And, you know, happens there. You can that aren't as amazing, but at least you know they're working on it and trying to recover. Did you hear any of that?
No, honestly, I heard the oh my goobada gabbada geebada goobada goom. People, this does not look destined. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't even know what I can do with this. I'm gonna have to listen to the recording. Christ on a box of cereal. Christ flakes coming to a breakfast near you. Doom boom boom. Christ flakes. It's like little crosses covered in honey coating and sugar. And they have little pixels of like strawberry in it, so when you put milk in it, it looks like it's the blood of Christ. There's something wrong with me, man. Oh my god, I can't believe I just laughed that hard at my own joke. I'm such a loser. Deep, but out, bink, but out, bink, boom, but out, boom, but out, boom. We are facing technical difficulties, bring bow. Ooh, can't think of anything to rhyme with that. Beamity boom, beamity boom, biggity boom, biggity, 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 biggity boom, biggity boom, biggity boom, biggity, biggity, biggity boom. Dubstep remix. Um, we are waiting for Victoria Maurice, Vicky M, as they call her in the streets. You know, Victoria Maurice. More rice, please. I'm seeing like little gifs of you or gifs. Jiffy Lube, Giffy Lube. Get, all right, that sounded wrong. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Did you just take a shot? Yeah, I would. I would. Especially how this is going.
Just butchered this entire thing.
I wish I had some. I should have a little shelf right here that has some liquor in it. But then again, what message would I be sending to the kids? Because we all know there's 8-year-olds that love listening to writing podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So Vicky M, where were we in the last escapades of our adventures? I think that was a double entendre. No, an oxymoron. No. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I think I think I was explaining who my favorite pair
Yes, you
is.
were.
Was is
Yes, and yes, and
yeah.
your answer was the pair from. Don't tell me it was second
Down to
book.
Business.
Yeah, second book. Yeah, I don't know why it was the. I want to see if I'm right because when I closed my eyes, I saw a cover with shattered glass. Gangsta. I was wrong as hell.
What?
No, I was wrong. Yeah, down a business is like a girl in like a nice mink coat type of get up, and she's looking back to a guy, and he's telling her,
And
"Hey, I think you got a little bit toilet paper stuck in your shoe." Wait, you have a word in here that I actually don't even know what that. What is that? Can Oh, cancer survivor. I thought that was one word. I thought that was French. Cancer survivor. Bro, I'm a loser.
I speak French, but
Did you hear any of that?
I can't. I can't. I definitely speak French.
Oh, you speak French.
What? Yeah, I heard.
I heard all of it, like even the embarrassing parts, because you can forget
Yeah.
that. Oh, of course you hear that perfectly. Unreal. Okay, folks. About 10 more minutes I'm considering here.
Okay. I heard something, but
Oh my
I'm
god.
not sure. You heard. You heard it.
Yeah, I know, I hear you perfectly. I don't know what you did, but I'd recommend continue doing
Yeah,
it.
this is terrible.
Damn it, and Frozen
I
again.
yeah, I heard something, but I'm not sure what I heard.
What is that, like a secret? Well, whatever it is, it's not
I can
true,
still
and
hear you though. Then you're still.
you can't prove that it was me either. And I have four
Mm,
alibis and a lawyer, so don't even play with me. Uh, no. So, what was the thing that you think you heard? What was the last question?
I think it was you were reading what was written in French, and then you I don't know what you were trying to
Oh
say to
yes,
twist
yes,
it into.
yeah. I was reading. I was looking at the cover for Down to Business, and I was remarking how the the guy character was whispering into the female character in the cover that she had a little bit of toilet paper stuck on her shoe.
Yeah.
And then I read
Yep.
the the thing under it that read cancer survivor, but it was just in one word. But I thought it was in French. So I read it as cancer survivor, you know? And then I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
what's that mean? And that's where we were at.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yep.
So what do you think is the future? I mean, especially with how much you're going back and forth with your writing, do you think, I mean, with I would not be even slightly surprised if your next book is aliens come down and they probe a girl, but then she ends up kind of liking him, so she gets their number. Yeah, I'll tell you, I got something wrong with me today.
Oh no 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 no. I mean, you don't really don't know what to expect from me, but no, I don't think so. I have a few ideas that I'm
I'm gonna have
working
to use
on,
that one
and
then.
my little brother is definitely pushing out, but it's gonna be fantasy. So I really need to sit down and work on things before you have to come up with things. Writing as you go is not really permitted. You know, I have already have the name of the kingdoms and these things, but I have to go deeper. I can't start yet, and I have a lot going on right now. So
I hear you. Like I'll be honest with you. World building is the reason I write, though. I mean, I just get obsessed with like ideas and just like start like populating them like fully in my head. Easily my favorite thing, and not only is it my favorite thing to do, it's my favorite thing to like be like get consumed by, and like thematically and plot wise, there's a lot of things that like Marvel did wrong. But I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of just like the length they went into. You know, there's like I don't even know what like 25, 30 movies that they made, and they're all connected, even to the TV shows. Really something to kind of run towards, an idea to achieve. I really like that. Definitely something that I'm aiming for. And I was about to ask if it was something that she would be aiming for in the future, maybe kinda. I don't know. Porquizzy. Bourgeoisie is so difficult. Damn it, and I'm on fire today, huh? You know, after I just said that out loud, I don't think I can put this on public. I am an animal. Mademoiselle. Oh, le pote potin. We should learn some more French.
Yeah.
I can hear you philosophically. Is it an actuality? Bitch, motherfucker, got a lot of work to do. Who did that? Oh, that's Bewitched. No, she did it with her nose. How'd she do that, actually? Maybe that's the magic. What? No, I was just talking until you came back. Back to life. Back to reality. Back to life. What is that? 2 Live Crew? Earth, Wind, and Fire? Back to life. Back to reality. Gotta be honest with you. This is not going so well. We're having very, how do you say, technical issues. It's not going very bueno. What is that, the narrow? Yeah, we ain't talking about here. But I'm telling you, I couldn't be worse at impressions if I fucking tried. That's a decent dinero. Here's some cotton balls. Try to do a Godfather. Oh, we're back. I can't hear you again. Like I can see you. It's just you have your
Okay.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Man,
Yeah.
I just heard a little bit of
I was
vibration.
saying you're a really great host.
Oh, you were. Oh, why? Why did you say that?
I'm over here thinking, oh my God, this is so bad. But you,
Damn it! You see, this is times I really wish, really wish it wasn't cutting out, because I would love to hear the compliments. Well, we're cutting out again. It's almost like I'm doing my own future commentary on this episode, if you think about it. Which, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna release this. I mean, I'll see. I'll see. If the cutting out seems very bad, then you know. All right. Another thing. I'm surprised no one's commented on it yet, but my eyes couldn't be lower. Like I'm trying to look, and it literally look like if I talk like it looks like my eyes are closed. But my eye, I'm telling you, my eyes are naturally kind of, you know, like if you were to draw my eyes, they would be at half mast. You know what I mean? Like a cartoon of me would definitely have my eyes at like a half mast. But like, what am I? You know, it literally hurts to put my eyes bigger. And now
yeah.
I'm like constantly surprised. Oh, and you're back.
Yeah.
It's almost getting embarrassing because like the conversation I have with somebody there or when somebody's not there is so different. And then you come back to it and I'm like, oh no, yeah, I wasn't talking about that. LOL. But then again, this all going public anyway. What am I talking about? Gabadagoosh.
It's fine. I'm trying to move.
Now, my question, are you really hearing every single bit of this or are you cutting out too?
What you just said, I heard everything, but earlier,
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that an infinity logo on your
So I don't know if that will.
necklace?
Necklace? Yes.
What is that eternal love, or does that mean that you really like math and you like the infinity principle, or
Oh no, definitely, probably anything but math. But I guess it's just because we were like my friends.
I don't know if you're gonna hear my response right now, but the one good thing about all these cutting outs is for whatever reason, every
Oh
single
God, this is so different than radio.
wait, you were on radio? How does she know about radio? And you already know what song popped into my head. TV killed the radio star. Man, I'm amped up. What is in this? Oh no. It is la cafe. I was supposed to have tea. Oh my god. Now I know. Now we know. God, I'm such a horrible podcaster that I just really try to talk with a cup in front of my boca. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? There's no thought in my head. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You're crazy over here, okay? They're killing us in the streets, man. It's not fair. But you know what? While I have this opportunity, I'm gonna go ahead and show off Homegirl's Instagram. Right here we have the post. Oh my god. If you just heard that little burp, I apologize, but I also have to admit that it was not me. I know you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, how did you know, how did we just hear a burp but it wasn't me?" How is that possible? But I just have to tell you, stop questioning me, okay? Just take what I tell you as the voice of God. God, I really hope you didn't hear that part. But we also have Victoria Maurice on Wattpad, and these are the books that we've been talking about the entire time. We have The Luna of His Night, that is the werewolf story. We have Light Up My World, which is the Hawaii story. Katie can. Huh, I like that. Katie can. Katie can do anything. Even your man, and she likes it. Hey, yo. And again, big ups to her because a lot of these have pretty big viewings. Just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look at these. Hazel 6.5. Am I reading? Down in Business has 41.1K. Ball sack. That's really good.
Thank you.
Of course you hear that. Well, actually, I don't know why I said it like
around.
I don't know why I said it like a derogatory term. It's actually great that you heard it. You heard that of all things.
Yeah.
But oh, and you really put it. Oh, possessive. Uh-oh.
Where?
The Luna of His Night. It's one of the tags.
Yeah.
Oh, and checkmate is with a lawyer. Okay, okay. Oh, but you said lawyer. I was thinking of. Oh, I don't know why. I'm such an idiot. You said attorney, and that was like, man, I'm so stupid.
It's all right.
Well, I can hear you better now. If that's
Yeah,
anything.
I think I'm just gonna sacrifice the video side of it to just to be able to speak properly because
I'll
I
take it.
moved. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than keep cutting off.
Ooh, hey, they say, watch how I move. Keep on getting songs stuck in my head. what's that thing that people keep on associative thinking, right? That's where I'm on right now.
Mhm.
Um, so the last, do you remember what the last thing that we were talking about in
Ah,
the last thing that you cut off is that you were saying something about the hosting thing, and then I didn't even hear anything that you said after that. But
wait,
before that,
what was I talking about?
the last thing that you said that like before we like had like a cut off was the thing you said about hosting. You said something like you said something about,
Oh yeah.
and then I didn't even hear anything you said after that. I didn't even hear
I'm
literally
sure
like
you didn't.
after that
Yeah,
word. It was like,
of
yeah,
course.
hosting. And I was like, all right, dope, 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 dope. And I was actually just
Cut
joking. I
off,
was like,
right?
yeah, of course. Uh, but we can go even
Yeah,
before.
I said you're a great host.
Oh, well, thanks. But what were we talking about before that? Because I know oh, I remember the question that I asked that I was waiting for a response for was, what do you see yourself in the future? That I kind of joked about the whole alien probe thing, which is not a bad
Um.
story.
Oh,
I
you
might
didn't
develop
hear?
that further.
Think. I think I. I think that I was saying that I'll try. Like the next idea that I have is definitely a more like fantasy
Yes, and you
type
already
of
have the
story because
names
I
up.
really like Merlin and those. Yeah. So I'm really interested in creating like my own kingdom and a whole different world with different creatures and all that. And it's gonna take a lot of work because I'll be creating basically everything. So I'm taking my time with that one. No matter how much I'm excited for it, I'm taking my time with it.
Yeah, and I don't know if yeah, I love world building. Huge fan of world building. It's honestly one of my favorite aspects of literature, and not only in creating it, but making it. I know the people that listen to this podcast are like
Mm-hmm.
dead tired of me saying that, but you know, what do you want from me?
Well, if they're here,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Are you really gonna be mad at apple juice because it tastes like an apple? What are you talking about?
right?
Then again, that's the world right now. Um, do you ever think that you'll take it in in a way that even you yourself, like, what is a something to you that's almost untouched? What is something that you wouldn't mess around with?
Meaning story wise or
Yeah,
like a subject?
or subject matter, or yeah, or even like certain characters.
Um, I I never want to write um stories with clear abuse going on and try to portray it as realistic or normal basically.
Mm.
I If I were to include that to my story, it would be to just show the person coming out of it or their journey leaving that situation or fighting to get out of it. But portraying it as completely normal, no, I that's something I don't really mess around with
Mm.
because yeah.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah.
is there any subject matter that you're kind of foaming at the mouth to kind of pick up from there? You know what I mean? Like, what is Stephanie Meyer's latest thing? It's like that the book has like a picture of the pomegranate in front of it. That woman has a thing with like taking covers from a fruit, huh? Twilight is an apple. Where is there
Mm.
ever an orchid in in that book, huh? When do they ever even talk about apples? I'm telling you, she just has a thing with like phallic. I don't even know
Mm.
what. And then again, it's not even. You know, when was the last time you ever got like a sex from somebody and there was an apple anywhere near that? It's
No.
eggplants and peaches and like strawberries if you're being like
Strawberries,
real. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Apple.
Yeah.
Or pomegranate. Where did pomegranate come from? But
Yeah.
you know what? Screw that question. Covers. That's something that I definitely want to focus on for a little bit. Where did you get the ideas for your covers, the inspiration for them? Because you said that you yourself make them. and you yourself
Mm-hmm.
kind of produce them. So I'm assuming that you take on a lot of the design elements of your book altogether, including
Yeah.
formatting and everything. And on top, actually, you know what? I'll leave that for a second parter.
Yeah. When it's time to when it's time for me to create a cover, usually I just try to take the main thing about the story and try to reflect it on the cover, and at the same time make it interesting, eye-catching in its own way, without really giving like every detail about everything that's going to happen, you know
Hmm.
so yeah, basically it's like the essence of the book. I try to have it on the cover. I don't know if that
So
makes any sense.
no, yeah, because the cover for Down to Business is, you know, a guy kind of in the
Yeah,
earshot of a woman that very looks very. They both look very extravagant. She's wearing a mint coat. He's
yeah.
wearing like a nice, you know, thing. He has a beard going on,
Hmm.
and obviously the question is what he's whispering in her ear. One can assume he's whispering sweet nothingness. Obviously, I assume the truth, which
Hmm.
is he's over here talking about like, hey girl,
You got some. Go.
how much money you got in your tax return last week? Let me borrow some of
Yep,
that.
most
uh
definitely.
yeah, true sweet nothingness. Hey babe,
Hmm.
you got the parking ticket? I need to get it for the valet. um do you ever, outside of the covers and whatnot, do you ever take inspiration from your favorite movies, from your favorite uh books and TV shows, posters for movies that you like?
Ah, mm, mm, no, I don't think I have before, because I guess it's just, I feel like for movies, the the cover kind of, like the cover just says it all, for the movies. But I always like to keep like a certain aspect of it a little bit mysterious in my covers, especially since I don't have anything like comedy or anything. So it's nice to have that vibe about it. I think the only one that was a little bit pretty and colorful was Twilight of My World. But apart from
Up
that,
All
like
Night?
all the other yeah, that one. And apart from that, I think every single one of them kept the mysteriousness going on in it. Not trying to be too direct about it being, erotic. I don't really like it being like all up in your face
Yeah,
kind of
even though
thing.
it's, yeah,
Yeah,
even though
if you read it.
that'll definitely be a scene in there.
Yeah, definitely.
um Now, I like the idea of the fantasy and kind of the way that you were going on that route. What
Thank you.
is kind of the main thematic elements that you want to make sure are incorporated in this work? And is there anything that you've learned in your previous works that you're going to very much strive away from? Like, for example, like I said, for as much as I really like and proud of Allegory of the End, I probably will not do another point of view present tense type of structure that I
Mm,
did for that again. So do you feel like you have
mhm.
anything kind of like similar experience with that?
Mm. Um, One thing I want to move away from a little bit is, I think that at the beginning, my mindset was more like creating um not so well perfect characters, but I get I guess you could say politically correct characters, maybe,
Mm.
and trying to like limit the flaws in them and stuff, while little by little, especially with Down to Business, I kind of just accepted that some things that happen will impact somebody differently. And it's up to the audience to just be patient, like they're working through something, be patient. You might hate them right now, but it can happen to anyone. So I feel like if you intended for a character to be loved, you don't ever want people to hate that character. So I was trying to stick with that. But now I realize that, sometimes things happen and they just persevere. And if that's the kind of character that I'm building, then I need to allow them to reflect that sense of realism, I guess, and not be afraid of just, oh, what are people gonna say if this is what happened? Whereas the situation just, it makes sense that that happened. So I'm definitely moving away from that and accepting that, hey, I can have a complex character, I can have a complicated situation, and as long as I don't drift away from the storyline, from the characters' main characteristics altogether, I guess I'll be okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, kind of to wrap everything up, and kind of a thesis statement for the podcast. Where, well, for this episode, it's not the end of the podcast, folks. Do you think, like, everything that you've done so far on Wattpad is on Wattpad? Now, have you translated any of these into books, into novels, into Amazon releases?
Right now, Downs is in the process of being released, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I saw it was what,
Yeah.
41,000 views. I mean, that's unreal. For as much as I don't have anything close to that yet.
Thank you. Well, it's kind of a backhanded compliment. Thank you.
Well, how's that a backhanded compliment?
For you, you're putting yourself down. You'll get there. Don't worry.
Oh, nah, trust. I mean, I have no lack of faith, but like, it's just the honest truth. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh, like, I don't know. I don't think it's a backhanded compliment. It's just like it's just the honest truth. I really don't have anything close to that.
No, you might get there.
You see, now that's a backhanded compliment. Might. Why you gotta think of me like that? um. So, walk me through the process of getting down to business published. What is the nitty gritty? Are you gonna work with somebody to kind of make it polished? Are you gonna work with a graphic designer to do the back end? Because you have the front cover, the ebook. Are you gonna work with somebody to make a full cover? Are you gonna get somebody to do the formatting of it? Are you gonna run it through editing processes and editing phases?
Yeah, I've already done the editing, and it took forever, but I'm finally, I think it was probably yesterday or before yesterday that I finally finished it. Um, and the company that I'm working with, or they sent me a cover, and I told them what I wanted, and I liked it, so I approved it, and so now we're going forward with the process. It's really nice that like they have like their own team, and they're just like, I just need to give them the green light, and then they can go ahead and proceed.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Now, what is something that, well, honestly, you kind of like said it with the whole like editing phase. I was gonna ask what is kind of the most, like, the biggest obstacle you've faced so far on the road to editing, from going from Wattpad, which is basically just make an account and start dropping it, and then if it's kind of sink or swim based on your rendition, based on what people feel of your work, versus you're on your own now. No matter how, you can't turn around and use your Wattpad viewings or anything, any awards that you might have won, you can't use that for any editor. Any editor is going to give you the same rate. Any format is going to give you the same rate. It's all on you now.
Yeah.
What is something that has definitely kind of taken you back from that process so far?
Well, it's honestly a little terrifying, I guess. I could say that because for the longest time, I guess the reason why I felt so um okay with Wattpad is the fact that I'm just writing and nobody knows who I am. I'm just putting out stuff and I'm satisfied with what's going on. Whereas when it's, like in the real world, I can't just be hidden anymore. I have to promote, I have to go around, and I have to be more out there, which I don't like to do, but I will definitely I have to grow out of that shell and for things to succeed. So that's something that's really been on my mind. And well, I guess with time it'll get easier, but for now, it's you know, a little problematic, but
I mean, you're doing well now. You don't seem
thank
really, you don't seem that introverted to me.
you.
And I guess everything is just phases, though. I mean, if you were to meet me on like, I don't know, depends on the energy. I can be very quiet.
Yeah, I'm not normally, I'm really quiet and stuff, but I've done a little bit of radio, so I guess I know how to handle myself, especially in like podcasts, and I talk to myself a lot, for these situations, I guess. But
Yeah, I do
I don't
too.
think I don't think that in reality I'll look very like I want to get out of here. I get it over with, we do it right, and bye. you know, that's
Mm,
basically me altogether.
mm.
Mhm.
So I wasn't mistaken. You have done radio in the past.
Yes.
What was that?
Wait.
Radio Disney or like how? What?
No, my dad works for a radio station in Haiti, so I was working with him. I'm not in the States, so it's like from time to time he would get us on, and for some time we were doing like motivational speaking, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, just giving advice to people, to the youth. So yeah,
That's
for
awesome.
I think it lasted like 3 months, and then we kind of just, our schedules were so full, we decided, what, let's just, and I was the one that had to come up with the subjects and stuff, and I was doing most of the talking. So with more things going on, I had to slow down, but it was a fun experience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really impressive. So you're from Haiti?
Yes, born and raised.
Well, I was born in the Dominican Republic, so we kind of share an island. Well,
Oh,
shared.
that's nice.
I haven't
My
been back.
neighbors.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I haven't been back in quite a while. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. Oh, you want to know something actually interesting? You might know the history more than like Americans, I would say, just because But do you know of the Metabod sisters?
The no, I don't think
You know
so.
of the dictator Trujillo, right? The Dominican dictator, like I don't know, like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, actually now.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know. What's that about?
Well, no, well, it was a dictator, and there was like this whole thing about whole thing that happened basically, and it's pretty like rich in the country's history, but I guess only famous on our side of the island.
Yeah.
But that's actually my family. I am like the Mita Ball isn't like some weird offset. I'm actually that's those are my
Oh wow.
cousins.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, actually, really, I mean, it doesn't translate into anything. When I landed in Dominican Republic,
You're just a regular.
if
Okay.
anything, they're charging me extra money. Uh,
Yeah, I get that.
but it's kind of cool from like a historical sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when they take my money from me, it's my cousin's face on the money, so it's just like double entendre. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like hold the thing up to my face, like,
Yeah.
any
Y'all don't
resemblance?
see
I'm like,
it.
no, of course not.
No.
What are you talking about? Are you stupid? Their faces are green. Yours are kind of beige. um,
Yeah.
man, we're getting on a weird tangent here. So, where can people find your book when it is released? Do you have a release date? And are you going full self-publishing, or are you did Lori kind of hook you up with her publishing press?
Yes, she definitely did.
Now, give them a shout out because honestly, I can never remember that name. It's
Yu
Japanese, right? Ukinomi.
Yukioto.
Okay,
I don't. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Is it
Yukiloko,
Ukioto? Yukioto? I don't know.
Kenimoto, Motorola. uh, So
Yeah.
how, and again, so big ups to that publishing company,
Yeah.
Yokimoto and
Yoto.
Yokomoto. What was it?
Yukioto.
What was it again? Yukioto.
Yeah.
And what was that girl from the Beatles? Well, not,
I
she
have.
wasn't from the Beatles. I'm gonna get
I
shot for
think she
that.
was dating someone.
Yeah, dating someone in the Beatles. You know, she ruined the Beatles, as people like to say.
Oh,
Yokomoto. Was it? Is that the same name? Yokomoto? Is that where they got the name from? Whatever.
I have no
Another
idea.
another weird tangent. Where can people find the book when it is released? Is it gonna do an Amazon release? Are you gonna have it on Goodreads? And what do you think for the release date?
I don't have a release date yet, but I know for sure that you'll be able to find it on the website of Yukioto. I think yukioto.com, that you'll be able to find it on the website. And I think Amazon, I'm not sure. I need to check that again. But the second I have a release date, I'll, put that on my Instagram and stuff. So yeah.
Dope, dope. And again, the Instagram and the Wattpad and everything, for the people listening, where can people find you?
On Wattpad, on Instagram, the same name, Christy M01. The Christy spelled CHRISTY M01.
Make sure to do that. I'm telling you. I mean, honestly, I know that you've been here. This episode has basically been Swiss cheese, in and out. But
Yep.
honestly, from even the little bits that I've picked up, this really is a very and talented author, and honestly, I'm very excited to see her career path in the future.
No, thank you.
So make sure to give her a follow, give her a like, sub. Uh, you know, I was gonna say send her some flowers, but then I was like, all right, but that would require you getting the address and doing a lot of weird shit. So don't do that. I think the
Yeah.
likes would be enough. Maybe send her a
Mm-hmm.
comment that has flowers in it, right? A little
Yeah.
emoji.
Yeah.
And then we'll just call it there. But the main thing you definitely can do is you can buy that book when it is
Yeah.
released. So make sure to
Helps a
do
lot.
that. Support the community and support this author. I'm telling you. Do you have any final thoughts, any last statements that you want to say to the people?
Oh, not really. It was this. I was really, honestly, I was really kind of nervous about this at first, but you're really amazing, honestly. And I honestly wish you the best because you know how to get the conversation going. And with all the disconnection that was going on, it was just, it still was a great experience. So really good luck to you.
Well, thank you. I have to say, I hear that often, and I will never understand how you could be nervous to talk to me. I
Oh,
mean, me. Like, I don't know. I'm such a goof. I'm interested by anything you could be possibly talk about.
mhm.
But anyway, it really has
I
been an
hope to come
honor.
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
I definitely will like to, especially now that the last like 25 minutes were actually like really
good.
usable. Uh,
Yep.
so if anything, I'm definitely gonna at least have to edit it. I hate editing,
Mm.
but you know, it'll definitely be worth it to do it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna get. There's definitely gonna have to be very usable. So
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be at the end of the podcast. I have been honored by Queen Victoria, Vicky M, as they call her in the streets. Uh, and it really has been just a complete blast to go in between the characters and just get the background of the person I've been talking through messages through Instagram. And I honestly have to give out a shout out to Lori. Lori
Yeah,
is just pumping people this way. I'm telling
yeah,
you, if it's not
really.
Lori, uh, just sending friends my way, it is the Twitter community. You're doing something. I'm telling you, I could not be more just I was gonna say floored, but floored doesn't mean the thing that I think it wants to mean. So I'm very happy with the community and how everything is going. And honestly, just a huge shout out to Lori, and just blessings and big ups and all the cool things that people say. That is the end. That's gonna be the end of the podcast. I am A.R.T. Bal. Victoria, absolute pleasure. Check with us on Monday when we have our next author peer vlog, and on Wednesday when we have our next solo cast. Peace out and see you soon.